You're watching Let the Quran Speak. Thou shalt not murder. Why is the biblical commandment, which is echoed in Islam, transgressed so often in modern times? We live in the age of reason and human rights, so how can we understand the recent shootings in a Scarborough neighborhood, or even more recently in Colorado, where one person killed 12 and injured 60 in a movie theater? How can we understand situations in which individuals open fire on innocent people, wounding and killing many? And how can we prevent such indiscriminate murders from taking place? Now, Brother Shabir, I'm sure you've heard about the Colorado murder. It took place in a movie theater. What are your thoughts on this incident?
Well, first of all, I'm shocked by such an occurrence. It's something that is totally unexpected. Even though now looking back, we see that there's been a history of such violent acts. It just happens sporadically that a young man or some other person with maybe a great degree of anger or whatever the underlying cause is, they go into a crowded area and start firing on innocent individuals.
In Toronto, we've had a few incidents of this summer.
Yes, of course, those incidents are variously explained. Some are related to gang violence and so on. But in any case, all of these events are disturbing in that they involve the killing of individuals in a wanton manner. And this should give cause for reflection. We should think about where our society is heading and how the youth are being shaped by the evolution of our present society.
Mm-hmm. Are we developing a lack of respect for human life?
Yes, it seems that this is happening, and to a large extent, what we watch, the entertainment that we subject ourselves to, it does shape our mind and our minds and our attitudes. Mm-hmm. A recent study in a New Hampshire university showed that children watching movies which are rated PG but depict characters smoking are more likely to smoke and become addicted to smoking. And if these movies, which are rated PG, could be rated higher, let's say 18A for example, because of the smoking content, then this would reduce the smoking addiction to about 1/5, according to that study. Well, that's only looking at the effect of seeing people smoking on screen. What about the amount of violence that we are seeing in movies, and think about the violent video games? Mm-hmm. Often it is mentioned that one of these persons who perpetrated these acts of violence were, one of these persons might have been addicted to or very often played a video game that involved a lot of violence. It is possible that these individuals imagine themselves being these animated characters now in real life, acting out this violence that felt so good when they were playing the game, and now they really want to be in the game physically.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting that in the Colorado shooting, it was at a movie theater of The Dark Knight Rises, and people thought that the shooting was part of the movie itself at first. They didn't distinguish because there was a violent scene in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, so this sort of violence that is there in the movies can actually give some of the viewers a sense that they want to be like that. See, they see something, and we all respond differently. We may see a violent scene and we react with horror, but somebody else may be seeing the same scene and saying, "Yeah, that looks good. Go on, do more." And they may feel that they themselves want to get more of that high by doing it themselves. So what is the solution for this? There's no easy solution, because we can't ask people to stop all of their entertainment, but we can just ask that both movie producers and film goers movie goers
Whatever
cinema
it's called.
attendees, patrons, should think carefully about what we are supporting. When we want to give the message that we are for a decent society. We want things to be improved for the better. We care about violence. We want to eradicate violence, and we care about the development of the youth. We want the youth to see wholesome things so that their minds can be shaped for the better, and they can become better contributing citizens in the future, instead of becoming violent individuals who will wreak havoc, whether it be in movie theaters or in other public places.
It seems that these incidents show that there's a lack of concern for hurting other people, even if they may be innocent, they're not doing anything to you. Do you think we've become desensitized to the suffering of others?
Yes, Erma Bombeck made this observation many years ago when she said that by the time a child is 18, he or she has seen so many murders on television that eventually they become desensitized to the murder. At first the thing is shocking, but after you've seen it happen so many times, it doesn't seem surprising or shocking anymore. It comes to feel natural and normal. And in that case, one becomes desensitized. One does not feel that the loss of life is of any such great import anymore. And the biblical and Quranic commandment to not kill others does not seem so relevant to the person's thinking anymore.
It seems these individuals also show a lack of accountability. They don't sense that anything will happen as a result of their actions, or maybe they don't care about whatever will happen.
Yes, it's just like we've done it and now here we are.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just simply cooperate to be arrested. They've just done that one thing. It's like that's the peak for them. They have achieved the peak, and now whatever comes doesn't matter. This is where the Islamic teachings are I believe very important, because Islam stresses personal responsibility. Islam teaches us to think about every action, whether big or small. They all have consequences, and as the Quran says, فَمَن يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ, whoever does even an atom's weight of good will see it on the day of judgment, and the reverse as well. Whoever does bad will see all of their bad deeds. Our whole lives will be played out before us. We'll see everything in a clear record, and people will be amazed. All of this is recorded. That's my whole life, that every detail. And yet that's the truth, that is what will be shown to us. So our actions are being recorded, we believe, and they have consequences. And once a Muslim cultivates this attitude of knowing that his or her actions will have consequences, well then, yeah, such big actions and such horrible deeds do have horrible consequences. And we will have to face those consequences.
Do you think as a society we should educate our youth on the importance of sticking to our morals and principles, and thinking about the consequences of actions?
Yes, I think this is very important. With the modern teachings that basically put religion on the back burner and trumps science and scientism, we should say, because there's nothing wrong with science, but there is something wrong with the idea that science is the solution to everything. Well, we need, in addition to science, we need philosophy, we need ethics, we need morality. And morality and ethics are largely taught in the world's major religions. And if we can help the world's major religions to have a voice in our modern world, and to give world religions and their teachings the sense of importance that they deserve, well then youth will be more inclined to take their religion seriously and to follow through with their ethical and moral teachings. Otherwise, from science we do not have any moral teachings. We can make up moral teachings on our own if we want, but there is nothing within science itself that prescribes morals or ethics, and religion does that. So we need to return to our religious roots and to discover the moral and ethical teachings that are contained therein. So thou shalt not kill, that's a simple prescription, one of the 10 commandments. The Quran says whoever kills a human being, it's as if he has killed a whole people. And whoever saves a human being, it's as if he has saved the whole people. We should think not only the one individual, but all of the potential offsprings of and the generations following from that, of this individual. individual. Killing one person is not a simple matter. But we need to return to these religious teachings.
Very nicely put, Brother Shabir. Thank you for that.
And thank you.
We'll take a break. When we return, we answer questions we've received from you, our viewers.